interested in everything else that they do. And we know from Chompon that every time a customer buys something, when they share it, it brings in, on average, another $14 worth of revenue for every share. So if you can get millions and millions of shares out there, you can do really well on your daily deal. Eventbrite is a social meeting, social conference site that allows you to set up your conference or your meetings. They will take the money for you and then pass it on for you, so they'll do all the credit cards and PayPal and all those sort of things, and they give you a lot of tools for you to manage your conference with. So anyone can set up anything from a birthday party all the way through to a large conference on Eventbrite. You can set up a free event, and those are free, you don't have to pay anything, but the minute you want to charge for tickets, Eventbrite takes a clip of the sale. And when they do, a Facebook share is worth $2.52 to them. A ticket average is about $39. So when someone comes and buys a ticket on Eventbrite, and then at the top corner you can see tweet, Facebook share, those sort of things, if they click one of those buttons, it actually has a revenue associated with it. So we try to encourage people, the minute they buy something, please share this, because we know their friends will buy it. You know, I'm going to Malaysia Social Media Week. I bought my ticket, now I'm going to share that I bought that ticket so my friends who also like social media can come as well. And it's interesting to see, although a tweet is only worth 43 cents, on average we have only a few hundred friends on Facebook. On Twitter the number's 10 times that, so you have to look at the disparity of the number of followers and the closeness of those followers between a Facebook friend and a Twitter follower. Definitely not working. The last couple of slides I'd like to go through are Just Giving is a donator to donator. And Just Giving said that every time somebody donates some money to their not-for-profit social fundraising, if that person then shares it on Facebook, it's worth an additional $8 per like. It's actually £5 per like. So what's the cost of inaction of not doing social media? This graph should be terrifying to executives. It's Apple's stock in an 11-minute period where Engadget blogged that there was going to be a delay on an Apple product, and Apple's response was, we don't respond to blogs. Okay, everybody went and sold their shares. Apple lost $4.6 billion market cap in those 11 minutes due to an Engadget blog post, and the senior executives decided by the afternoon that they would change their mind and start to deal with blogs. Is that a surprise? Probably not. So the whole idea that you can afford to ignore blogs, I think we can see here that it really does have an effect on the bottom line. Oops. There are now tools to watch a stock ticker in real time so that you can put in a stock. For instance, Toyota, I watched the Toyota Prius story breaking on Twitter and watched the stock plummeting in real time. Or you can put in the stock of your own company and then watch the discussions and the sentiment across in real time. They don't have to be buying and selling the stock, they just need to be talking about those products, and you can see swarms and eddies of discussion on how it affects the stock in real time. The last 3 slides on Salesforce. Who here has heard of Salesforce, please? Okay. Salesforce is a lot of tools for business in the cloud, and what they're very clever is that they allow you to integrate social customer relationship management systems with your normal CRMs. So you can look on a page and look at a client, and it will bring in their Facebook and their Twitter and their LinkedIn information while you're talking to the client in real time. And when Salesforce said, we will open up the database so people don't have to come to salesforce.com and interact with us on our website, they can now use SAP or Oracle or any other service, their sales went up by 40%. Amazon said we will allow people to add Amazon book affiliate shopping carts to Facebook pages or to their blogs, and they can sell books directly from their blog. And we won't force them to come back to Amazon to complete the sale. They'll just get a pop-up window and complete the sale that way. Amazon's sales went up by $490 million in their second quarter unit sales. And they collected over 1 million, in fact 140,000 registered developers. They now have over 1 million. So this is people who can get access directly to the Amazon API and create Facebook apps, can create Android apps, any kind of app you can think of. WordPress widgets, plugins. eBay, the transactions on Facebook, on the iOS, on the Apple platform, on blogs, if you could allow people to bid on an eBay item without forcing them back to eBay, allow them to do it on your website, on your Facebook page, on a blog, eBay discovered that their transactions went up by 84% annually. That's a dramatic increase. So imagine that you work for a travel company and you are able to open up tickets for events. And here's something that happened. A fellow put up on a forum, on a sports forum, that he wanted to organize a trip to Pamplona. And did any of his mates want to come with him? And if they did, they were to use a tool that allowed them to buy the ticket on the forum itself, on the social network itself. And then a few days later, he rang a travel agent and said, me and my mates want to go to Spain. And the travel agent said, oh, okay, how many? And he said, 450 of us. And she said, but that's 2 aeroplanes full. And he went, cool, we get our own planes. So there was no understanding of the sheer power that he had, without even thinking about it, to get 300, 400, 500 people together in a couple of days to go and do social travel with him. And I would fully expect in the future that he would be able to use a service like Eventbrite and very easily put up on Facebook, on Twitter or somewhere else, the ability for people to simply click and purchase in one movement. We're starting to see on Facebook this more and more. Cinemas are now allowing you to buy tickets directly on Facebook, and then under the news feed that goes out to all your friends, it will say Laurel Papworth is going to see Die Hard 4 at 5 p.m. Is it TGV, the cinema here? Yeah, at TGV at 5 p.m. Like, comment, share, buy. And then after a few minutes, it would say 2 of your friends are going to see Die Hard. And then after that, it will say 15 of your friends. So my warning would be to make sure that it's only your friends or your friends on Facebook, or they'll be showing up at the cinema with you. And secondly, to really think about what you want in return. I think at least a Coca-Cola and a popcorn if you're helping to sell cinema tickets in such a simple and neat way. Again, if you'd like to download these slides, if you go to bit.ly/MSMW2013, you can download them from there. Thank you very much.
I'd like to ask a question, actually. Obviously, return visitors is a good metric for engagement, but this kind of loyalty to get them to return, how else to build this?
How to get people back? I think there's 2 things. One is you have to monitor your network very closely. Actually, what I do is I do 5 things. I monitor the network very closely to see what they're talking about. The second thing that I do then is I create content about what they're talking about. So do you know MasterChef and Junior MasterChef? Do you have those shows here? Okay, so for Junior MasterChef, we monitored what they were talking about around the shows and then created content in the shows and online around that. The third thing that we do is we get into discussions with key influencers. We make sure that all the top, in those cases, chef bloggers and lifestyle bloggers were engaged with the content we were putting up so that they could be the channel for that content. The fourth thing that we do then is we go into promotion mode. We'll create apps and we'll create different Facebook pages, whatever it is we need to do. And the fifth thing we do is measure. Measure, measure, measure. If you can't measure in social media, don't bother doing it. I mean, there's so much measurement you can do in social media. And once you've done that, you go back to the beginning, because now you've measured it, you know what worked, and you start again. You monitor again, and you keep iteratively building your community that way. Does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Great.
Any questions from the floor, please? If not, let's have our second panelist, Mr. Murtuza, to present his...
Let me give you a brief introduction about myself. I'm from India, and I work for Go Air, which is a low-cost airline in India. So my presentation will be all about from the marketing perspective and how marketers think about this medium in their entire realm of strategy. So the topic here is Facebook, Twitter, social media. Where does the marketer think the money lies? Can I have the... Why do brands engage into social media? What are the key things that they look for? They look for reputation, they look for brand exposure, they look for insights from the customers on how they can build a better product, they look for an improved customer service, they look for a closer engagement and dialogue with their customers, they look for how they can increase sales, how they can optimize the sales processes, how they can generate leads, and many more. So let's see what the marketers think about social media and what are the insights that they can provide. A brief research done by blogworks.in and Exchange for Media very clearly emphasizes that there will be a huge impact of social media in the next coming years. What will social media be able to deliver? It will be able to deliver buzz, word of mouth, insights, engagement. Sales has not come as a key priority, but the top priorities are the buzz, the insights, and the engagements. Will social media influence any kind of purchase decisions? Yes, very clearly 67% of the people think that yes, they will influence any purchase decisions that occur online. What do the marketers think about this medium? Are we still learning? Have we evangelized this? Very clearly, 63% of the marketers think that they have still yet to explore this medium, and that is a global phenomena. The future slides will tell you exactly how globally the marketers think. This is from the Indian perspective. What is in the mind of every marketer? How do we measure this medium? Do we measure it on brand awareness? Do we measure it on sales? Do we measure it on insights? Do we measure it on leads? Very clearly, impact on brand awareness, which means brand exposure to the consumers, comes out to be the first mover. Volume of user-generated content, which means that the brands want the insights from the consumers in order to build a better product and a better service. Number of touch points to the consumers, better search engine rankings, positive tone of comments, feeds, and if you bear in mind, all this does not cover sales. So social media directly does not have an impact on sales. That is what the insights is clearly throwing out. Will the spends go up? Yes, definitely. 54% of the marketers think that the spends will definitely rise in the coming years. What are the social media actors which the marketers think are in the realm of their strategy? Facebook clearly takes a shot. 92% of the marketers think that Facebook is a key channel in their entire social media strategy plans. LinkedIn, Twitter, blogs, and YouTube follow the entire planning strategies. Who's on the learning radar? What is the consumer aware about? What do the marketers think that they should involve into their strategy presentations? Very clearly, people have heard about Facebook, YouTube, they've heard about LinkedIn, but what are the unexplored territories are Google Plus and Foursquare. These are the platforms that the marketers would like to explore in their forthcoming strategies. To emphasize on the previous slide, globally also the same trend follows. The marketers want to understand what the opportunities on Google Plus are, how Google Plus functions, what it can deliver to their consumers and for the brand. Are you guys still thinking? Yes, we are. The marketers are not lost, but they still have to yet discover a lot of things. 10 things that can be put into 10 keywords which will help marketers discover their path to social media is how they measure, how they target, how they engage, how they sell, how much time do they invest, what is the strategy that they adopt, what are the tactics that they deploy in the strategies, what are the tools that they use to measure, how do they use this channel, and how do they select this channel. Once you understand this, the path to success is very clear. Very clearly, business exposure, increase of traffic, marketplace insights are the top 3 things which are coming in the marketer's mind, which again emphasizes back on the previous slides where the research was done to understand what the marketers think about this channel. Let's touch upon the certain questions which the marketers want to be answered. How do I measure the effect of social media marketing on my business? I think you all guys will think about all these questions when you start developing your strategies. How do I find my target audience? What are the best ways that I can engage with my audience? How do I sell with social media? How do I best use my time to maximize my social media efforts? How do I create my social media strategy? What social media tactics are most effective? What are the best measuring tools for social media? How do I use different social media platforms for my mission? How do I select the right social platform for my business? These are all the questions which will crop up when devising a brand strategy with social media keeping into perspective. Marketers are already thinking, what do they need to invest upon? YouTube is coming top of the charts in terms of the investments that they want to predict for the next coming years. It's the most visited site, and at least 76% of the marketers are planning to increase their efforts on YouTube. Second, definitely is Facebook. 92% of the marketers are using Facebook, and 72% are planning to increase their activities on Facebook. And also Facebook is one of the top sites when a fresh marketer wants to launch their Facebook or their social media strategy. Twitter, 69% of the marketers think that they should start investing their monies and their efforts on Twitter. Mostly the enterprise level businesses and small businesses, size of 25 to 100 employees, are looking at Twitter actively. Blogs again remain the strong area of focus. 68% think that they should start blogs and they should start investing in blogs. Mostly blogs are pursued by self-employed people. Google Plus, the new kid on the block. Again, as the research very clearly says that it's an unexplored territory, marketers want to explore Google Plus. They want to start investing monies in Google Plus. Finally, LinkedIn. The focus is mostly for the B2B companies who wants to showcase their services or consulting services or any kind of services to the B2B clients, is when LinkedIn is going to be used as a part of their strategy. Let's see the climax. How do I pick the actor? Think about what your business does. Ask these questions multiple times. Are you in a consulting business? Are you in an FMCG business? Are you into the service industry? Think about your business and choose a platform. Discover where your customers are. Choose the platform where the customers enjoy hanging out. Do not choose multiple platforms if it's not serving the purpose. Take advantage of how your customers purchase your product or service. Understand their life cycle habits. Understand their social media habits. Understand what kind of content are they consuming, so to better your strategy. What social media sites do you enjoy? This is often overlooked upon. If you don't enjoy the sites that you predict in your strategy, okay, how will the consumers enjoy? So the feeds have to be enjoyed by the social media strategist so that he can get the right feeds back from the consumers. A snapshot of what is the wallet size of India. It's huge, it's growing. Around about $422 million spent every year in 2011. 25% increase year on year, $529 million spent in 2012. Social media share is around about 3 to 4%, and it's going to be definitely growing. There's a huge jump from 2011 to 2012, about 18% jump in the spend. So which means that huge scale that India is going to adopt in terms of social media. Final thoughts from the podium. This is a case study that I want to present, which is one of the award-winning case studies. May I have the video played?
Presenting Little Lily, the 2-year-old geography expert.
Hey Lily, where is Brazil?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. Where's the USA? There it is. Where is Russia?
Russia.
Where's Russia?
Russia.
Yep, where's Russia?
Yay, Lily. How about Ireland?
Just like Little Lily, the premium traveler in India has low awareness of Ireland. Ireland does not feature in the top 10 holiday destinations for Indian vacationers. Insight revealed that monuments, icons and famous places help build familiarity with the country. People prefer to visit places that have a higher social acceptance amongst friends and family. And so the challenge was to create awareness and build social acceptance for Ireland as a travel destination, taking Ireland higher up in the top 10 destinations list. The elite holiday travelers are educated, affluent 30 to 55-year-old urban Indians who are discerning and don't buy package tours. They are net savvy and research online about historical references and experiences. They then chart out their own itinerary for that unique experience. An online itinerary of Ireland was created using a combination of official and user-generated content. Users were taken through various social media properties to unravel the answers to 10 clues, which took them on a fascinating journey across Ireland. Post-registration on the Discover Ireland website, the first clue takes the user to the Flickr page, where he can find Trinity College in Dublin. The next clue takes the user to a YouTube page, where he finds a video about the Ring of Kerry. Another clue takes the user to the Race to Ireland blog, where he can read about the Giant's Causeway and the legend of Finn McCool. The relevant content, engaging campaign design and the conscious, not trying to sell you anything at any stage approach resonated with the audience, who then amplified it on social media. Results: Ireland moved up to the top 5 bracket on the TG